Hey everybody, Hatcher here with gaming news, reviews, and tips, GNRT, and we're back in DCS world taking a closer look at VR settings. And today we're going to take a closer look at shadows. So when it comes to shadows, you have a variety of choices to choose from. You can play with shadows off, flat only, low, medium, or high. And as with previous videos I've done, we're going to compare side by side the lowest setting to the highest setting. So we're going to compare off to high and see how that looks. And then we're also going to take a look at what flat only looks like. So let's go ahead and get in the air. Okay, so shadows is very intensive as far as performance. You can see here on high settings, the plane hasn't even loaded. It took several minutes for me to load into the game in this case. My frame rates were horrible. You can see I even got a little bit of a spinning wheel there. So definitely performance intense to go on high settings. Now, even though high shadows are a performance hog, you do get some nice benefits. You can see the shadow of the control stick moving around on high, whereas off you get no shadows. You can even see on high settings, you can see the shadows of the buttons on the console, which is really cool. You can see the shadow of the canopy, and obviously you can see the shadow of your plane underneath the wing. On off, you get literally no shadows. So you can see here as we taxi to the runway, there's a little light post on the right-hand side. You can even see that little shadow on the high settings. When we get into the air, the biggest thing that you notice are the shadows in the trees. So again, not quite as immersive when it's off, whereas on high, you do get those nice shadows from the trees. Again, this was quite a performance hog. My computer's having a hard time running it on high settings. My frame rates were in the low teens, whereas on off, I was getting 20, 30 frames per second, sometimes 40 frames per second. So it is quite a performance hog. You can see here on the aircraft carrier, nice big shadow on high settings from that aircraft carrier tower, whereas on off, no shadows whatsoever. So luckily, we have a lot of settings in between off and high. For me, I like to go flat only, because with flat only, as you can see here, you can look out, you can see the shadow of your cockpit or your canopy. Inside the cockpit, you're not going to get any of those shadows from the stick or on the buttons, but you will see the shadow underneath your wing. You even see the little shadow that's there underneath that little light. You get all the shadows, maybe not quite all the shadows, but you get a lot of the shadows from the tree, enough to make it realistic. So you get tree or shadows from the trees and whatnot. So it is still immersive. So to me, this is a good balance, and it's really going to depend on your system, how high you can turn those shadows up and how high you want to turn those shadows up. For me, flat only is the way to go. It allows me to get some immersion, but it also maximizes my performance in that case. So you're going to get most of the shadows, but you're not going to get all of the shadows, and that's evidenced coming up here as we land on the aircraft carrier in a minute. You're not going to see that big shadow from the aircraft carrier. Well, this wraps up another VR settings for DCS World. Thanks for watching, and if you did like this video, please subscribe, give me a like, leave a comment, and we will see you in game.